The Internet of Things promises a world of smart, connected devices set to redefine entire industries. But a harsh reality hides behind the hype. An estimated 76% of all IoT projects are destined to fail. Many get stuck in pilot purgatory. They work in the lab, but collapse when scaled to the real world. This isn't a software problem. The silent killer is often the hardware, where invisible flaws doom projects. We'll show you the top hardware failures and prove how PCB prototyping is the key to protecting your project and budget. First, the challenge of integrating hardware, software, and cloud platforms creates countless points of failure. Next, companies consistently underestimate scaling from 10 devices to 10,000. Network strain, servers overload. Finally, each device is a new security risk. Poor hardware-level security is a frequent and final project killer. Integration, scaling, security. But where do these failures physically begin? They start on the printed circuit board. What if one poorly chosen $2 component could sabotage a $1 million deployment? It happens more than you think. The PCB is your device's heart, where power, connectivity, and data processing converge. Getting it wrong here is catastrophic. Let's examine a hidden flaw. Poor signal integrity. Think of it as static in the conversation between components on your board. If those signals are corrupted by electromagnetic interference, or EMI, your data becomes worthless before it ever leaves the device. This is why prototyping matters. It allows engineers to test layouts and add shielding to ensure clean signals under real conditions. Another project killer, power consumption. Inefficient PCB design leaks energy, slashing the battery life of your device. Then there's heat. Poor thermal management on the PCB leads to overheating, component degradation, and premature failure. And finally, connectivity. Antenna placement is a physical science. Get the PCB layout wrong and your device is offline. Remember that $2 component? A cheap voltage regulator drifts under heat, leading to corrupted data and a fleet of useless devices. Consider an industrial sensor on machinery. Without prototype testing, designers miss that vibration will eventually break a solder joint. Or a wearable with terrible battery life. That's a power management problem from an unoptimized PCB that prototyping would have fixed. These aren't rare cases. They are the predictable results of skipping a vital step. So how does prototyping actually save you money? It's simple. The cost to fix a problem explodes the later you find it. A $100 fix on a prototype prevents a $1,000 product recall. But true success isn't about building just one prototype. The secret is rapid iteration, building, testing, and improving versions quickly. This iterative cycle lets you go beyond fixing errors. You can optimize for cost, improve performance, and shrink the device size pre-production. Advanced teams practice design for manufacturability, prototyping with standard components for efficient assembly and lower final costs. For complex shapes like wearables, teams even prototype with rigid flex PCBs. This removes bulky wires and reduces points of failure. So prototyping is not a single step. It's a strategic mindset. How do these pieces fit together to guarantee a successful product? Remember the scaling trap? A minor thermal problem on one prototype becomes a mass overheating failure when you deploy thousands. And the integration nightmare? That data loss blamed on the cloud is often just EMI from a bad PCB layout that prototyping would have caught. The true financial win isn't catching one error. It's using rapid iteration for dozens of small optimizations that compound into massive savings. This is the key insight. Strategic prototyping transforms IoT development from a high-risk gamble into a de-risked, agile process. That staggering 76% failure rate isn't inevitable. It's the direct result of neglecting the physical foundation of the product. The solution is to shift your focus. Validate the hardware first through deliberate, iterative PCB prototyping. It's your best investment. By mastering this process, you can move from the 76% who fail to the 24% who succeed, building reliable, scalable, and profitable products. Don't let your vision become another statistic. Start your next project with a hardware-first, prototyping-driven strategy.